This is Donna Fine, and we are live in Cincinnati, Ohio. We are at the Lori Foster Reader and Author Get Together. I've said that 20 times. You would think it would get easier, and sometimes I'm like,
it's getting harder.
Oh, and we are with Marianne Jordan, and I picked up one of her books yesterday, and I'd actually stalked her just a tad bit on her website and Facebook before I got here, and I was thrilled that she was available to interview. So she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and her books in case you happen to be new to them. So go ahead and share.
Okay, anything?
Yeah.
Okay. I started out, my original career was counseling. So I worked as an adolescent counselor for probably about, 26 years. Before that, I had been in education with special education. Like almost everybody you've probably interviewed in the last few days, avid reader before you ever start writing. I think that's key. I don't know that you could really be a good writer if you haven't just immersed yourself into what you love to read.
Yeah.
I started out reading romance, let's see, I'll date myself, way back in the late 70s with historical romances, Fabio on the cover. We all remember him.
Yes.
And I've always written things, but I never dreamed of writing romance. That just wasn't anything that I thought about. I was already in my 50s before I finally said, I'm going to do this.
Okay, this is another one for us. Those of us who are just a tad bit older in life, we can still do anything.
We can do things, yes. That is probably the one thing when I talk to women groups, I tell them, you are never too old to learn something new, and you're never too old to try something new. The only thing that holds you back is you.
Yes.
And that's what I've tried to preach. I have adult daughters now, and so, you know, with my daughters and my grandchildren as they come along, you are never too old.
Yes, I love that. Oh. So, and I can imagine from counseling, did you get any material for your books?
You know, almost everything in many ways. I rely very heavily in my books on dialogue. And I think that's very important. It's a great way to, as an author, to get information across without just doing what we call an info dump. But I like the communication between friends, between family, between the hero and heroine, that kind of thing. And dialogue, realistic dialogue, comes very easily to me. Probably after all those years of sitting and talking and one-on-one. I understand human emotions. Bad, good, negative, positive, everything. I've sat and dealt with it. I was an adolescent counselor for all those years, so I understand angst, but I don't write angst. But I just think that I truly understand the human spirit, and I think that comes through in my writing.
That's very good. And I forgot to mention that she's a USA bestseller. So
Thank you. I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
Very excited. I'd been an Amazon bestseller and Barnes & Noble bestseller before, and that was just one of those things that in the market today, it's gotten harder and harder to get. And I was beginning to think it wasn't going to be something that I was going to be able to grasp. And it was just about a month ago. And I was thrilled. I had a box set that I put 3 of my books together that had been very, very popular, and it hit the list.
Wow.
Thank you.
And it was books that were already out even.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, so I was very shocked and very pleased with that.
Yes.
Very
okay,
much
so we're definitely going to have to get that. So we'll make sure that we include a link to that in the blog post.
Good.
So
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And I will get it myself even.
Good.
So I was going to ask, how many books have you written? Because I saw your website had a lot of books.
Yes, I have, let's see, okay, in 2 weeks, my 35th published book will come out. The 36th is written, the 37th is written, and about the next probably 10 or so are at least planned slightly.
Wow. So you still have more books in your head?
Oh, lots more. Lots more. You had asked about the counseling earlier. Yes, some of my ideas do come from just experiences, either from students or their families or just things I've heard about. And so, yeah, I have 2 series right now that are ongoing that basically came from ideas that came from those counseling days.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I was going to ask if you ever read Nancy Drew.
Oh, goodness gracious, yes. It's funny you say that because several of us were talking the other day. Again, I have no problem saying I'm 57 years old, so Nancy Drew was big in the 1960s when I was a child. First mysteries I ever read, although somebody mentioned the other day Trixie Belden. I don't know if you remember her, but she was an early one also. Back in those days, my friends and I did not have jillions of Barbies. I actually had 3, but one of them was Nancy Drew. In my mind, she had brown hair, her friend George and Bess, and I played Barbies, and they were Nancy Drew.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. I was a big Nancy Drew fan too, I have to admit. Absolutely.
And I will say I still have all of his books. So my daughters read them. I'm saving them for my granddaughters, and I still have them. They're actually in good shape, believe it or not.
Oh, so you were a good kid with your books.
Oh, yes. That was Mama's rule.
That's my friend Trish Bell, who's probably out there in line at Karen Marie Monty signing. But if she creases the spine, she wants a new book.
Yes.
So you don't borrow books from her.
That's right.
Oh, we're going to end our Facebook Live, but we're going to head over to the blog, and we're going to ask Marian to share something that might be a surprise to the readers out there. So make sure you jump over there, and we'll have it posted this week. We'll see you later.
Thank you.